Hello, my name is Latanya Radbear, and I'm an entomologist, and we'll be talking about entomology today. Who knows what an entomologist is? Anyone?
They study insects.
Yes, they do. And for people at my job, they would call me the bug lady. So entomologists are scientists who study insects. They study the classifications, the life cycle, the distribution, the physiology, ecology, and the population dynamic of insects, which is what I think most of you guys are already learning in biology if you're taking the course. So I'm going to be showing you some beautiful insects, and if any one of you guys know what it is, you guys can shout it out, okay? Anybody can tell me what the green leafy insect look is? What does it look like to you?
It looks like a leaf. I don't know.
Looks like a leaf? It's a leaf bug. What about the other one on the right hand side?
A dragonfly.
Perfect, it is. Everybody should know this one.
A butterfly and a worm.
And a catcher.
Mm-hmm. And what about the green creature on your left?
Grasshopper.
No, this one is a praying mantid, and the other one is a beetle. All right, so how many of you guys know what you want to do in life already? Do you know what you want to practice, which is why we're all here? And it's okay if you guys don't know. All right, so I didn't really know, and I was confused at your age. And I used to ask scholars and I used to ask professionals if this was a normal feeling. And a wise person told me once, it's okay to not know exactly what you want to do, because then there's room for growth. So I think entomology chose me. I applied for the University of the West Indies, and I applied for the medical sciences, which most of us wanted to do, maybe become a doctor or a surgeon, because it's a very interesting job and our parents tells us this is what we should do, right? But instead, I got into science and technology. I was happy to be in college, but I wasn't pleased that I got into that faculty, and I didn't felt like I belonged there. So after I applied again in my second year to medical sciences, and I didn't get through, I decided that I would choose something that I love in the science and technology faculty. So I knew I loved biology and I was very good at it, so I decided to stay in that field. In my third year of college, I was introduced to entomology, and my professor told me this course would change my life, and it did. It changed my family life, it changed my friend's life, and it changed my life. So we got a project where we had to collect about 50 insects to display in an insect box. And this is what it looks like. This was absolutely fun. It's very beautiful, guys. And my mom, who was very, very terrified of cockroaches, she started storing cockroaches and other insects in the refrigerator for me to collect for school. I started looking at insects in a different way that I've never looked at them before. I started understanding the environment and how it all connects together. I did internships and a few research assistant projects, but it wasn't until that I was employed in an American company to be a consultant entomologist in pest management. I fell in love with my job, and I knew that this was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. How do one become an entomologist? So first, you would have to do biological sciences in high school, which I'm sure a lot of you are doing. Maybe some biology courses, human biology maybe, some chemistry, and some physics to get into college. Once you're in, you got accepted, or you've done the CAPE subject and got accepted in university, you will have to do a biological science degree. And this will be an entry-level position in entomology. If you want to further your career or expand the career opportunities, you'll have to do a master and a PhD to become either a researcher or a professor. You will need some work experience. So if you guys can join a club or do an internship, this would be good. So at least a 1 to 3 year experience, or you can get a certification. And one of the certification is like a broad certified entomologist certification. And you can do this whether you just even have just a biology degree. It depends. Some of the skills that you will need to become in an entomology, you will need writing skills, speaking skills. You'll have to be able to explain to your client what is happening in the environment. You'll have to explain the pest life cycle and potential treatments. You will need critical thinking skills. So you'll need to be able to solve problems, whether using preventative methods or innovative methods to trapping system to prevent and to solve a problem. You'll need observation. So you have to be able to observe. Sometimes you have to walk around in the field for very long hours, scouting pest activities or unusual activities that may happen. Sometimes it can be that you buy a bad product, or simply somebody lighting a fire across the street that can trigger some pest invasion on the plants. So observation is key. Problem solving skills, like I said before, and you need to be able to use a few software when you're collecting your data and analyzing your data. Some of these skills are being taught in your biology classes right now. So once you're in the work world, you'll be able to develop them. All right, so I'm going to be showing you some pictures of some pest damages on my site. And on the left-hand side, you'll see pictures of the aphids. And aphids, sometimes they can make your plants turn yellow. Aphids, they inject toxin in the plants and can cause the leaf to curl and distort the growth. They can also produce large sticky honeydew, which can cause mold, fungus, and attract other pest insects. On the right-hand side is some caterpillar bites. So caterpillars can damage your plant overnight. You can get up tomorrow morning and your plant is totally destroyed if there's a high infestation of it.
Miss,
Yes.
so like I have this lion tree at my house, and these caterpillars keep on as soon as some leaves grow, the caterpillars eat them right off. Like the tree used to be filled with leaves, but ever since the caterpillars came, it's now bare. There's nothing left on it.
And the plant is dying?
I think so.
Yeah, so this is some of the destruction that a caterpillar can cause. And as you can see, you can barely see it, but some cucumber beetle they saw this destruction and they're taking advantage of it as well. So it also attracts other pests to come and destroy the plants. So this is the cucumber beetle I was talking about. Now you can see it up close, and this is also some of the damage that it causes. And the thing with cucumber beetles that makes it very dangerous is that it carries bacterial virus. And once the plant gets the bacterial virus, sometimes it can contract the mosaic virus. There's no cure for it. You just have to throw away the plant. The plant is completely dead.
It looks similar to ladybug.
Yeah, it does. So this is a spotted cucumber beetle. You have the stripe cucumber beetle as well. Okay, this is lace bugs, and this is some of the damage it can cause. You can see it on the left-hand side of your screen. It feeds on the bottom side of the leaf, like you can see in the picture. And it sucks the fluid from the plants. So sometimes it can stop the production of oxygen. And this is very, very bad from the plants. It affects the health and the survival of the plant. You can't really see it in this picture very well on your left, but you can see the roots of these plants. It has knotted nematodes. So it's a root knotted nematodes. And this was caused from us buying bad soil. And they already contain the nematodes and it affected our plants. So once I saw this, it easily gets spread from one plant to the next. I will take out this batch and I would get rid of it because I didn't want to put it in my soil and on the land itself. And on the right hand side, you will see a little bit of gathering on the leaves. Those are eggs, and that's what it looks like. So where can an entomology work? An entomology can work in pest management control operations, just like me. You can work at a museum. You can work for government. You can work for private companies. You can work in a lab doing research or as a professor. You can work at a zoo. You can work as a forensic entomologist where you assist police in finding insects at crime scenes. You can do consulting jobs on insect sales. You can work with the federal government, maybe inspecting the port for foreign pests so nobody's smuggling any invasive species into the country that can cause a major problem. You can
Why do the police need to find insects at the crime scene?
Repeat that?
Why do the police need to find insects at the crime scene?
Maybe somebody used the insect to murder someone, a stinging bee. So if they would find this, they would automatically know this is a problem. If you're an entomologist, you can always go investigate and you would let them know that this is what caused the death of this person. All right, you can become a medical entomologist as well for disease control. Okay, so as an entomologist, you're going to play a big role in helping the environment, like using biopesticide instead of the red band pesticide to harm the environment and even yourself. Because I know that some of you guys know what the vegan is. To spray, most of you guys' parents use it to spray cockroaches. This is very toxic for human beings and it shouldn't be sprayed in a closed area, right? You'll be helpful in educating your clients because people, they do the wrong thing for years and then sometimes when you're telling them the right thing, it can be hard to communicate. You will be helping in research of new things and developing new ideas to solve these problems, right? It is a very exciting and very challenging job. You will learn new things every day on a daily basis, not to mention it's very refreshing not to be doing the same thing every single day. Every single day is a brand new adventure. Being in this field can be very exciting. Like one day you might be sweating profusely in the field, walking and collecting bugs. On another day, you can be working in the lab, or you can be in an air-conditioned room presenting your work on a fancy convention center. Another day, you might spend hours literally cutting papers for specimen labels, which is what I showed you in the collection box. So you can see underneath there are papers giving the information of the bugs themselves.
Maybe are those real insects?
Those are real insects that we collected, and we
are they dead?
Yes, they are dead, and we
Why would you
displayed
kill them?
so we can display them. And if we're doing a research, you can go back in the box, you can take this insect from the box, and you can observe it closely.
So how did you kill it?
You would use a chemical to knock it out.
And then how do you kill it?
Repeat that. Once it is knocked out, it is dead.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the profession can be physically demanding. Sometimes the entomologist would have to deal with weather constraints or research assignments in remote areas. So maybe you would have to spray a pesticide, but the wind is blowing too much. So this can cause a big problem because you cannot spray pesticide with the wind blowing. It can be very dangerous and toxic to the plants itself, and if depending on the pesticide you're using, toxic to humans. Sometimes you'll be in a cave and you'll be spending days doing your research underground. So it is exciting, but physically demanding at the same time. Sometimes you'll end up doing more than you were employed to do. But it is okay because it will help you build your profession. There are days when I have to walk the entire field, and my field is extremely big. It's about 750 acres of land, and which is very, very tiring. You will need the help of the employees to help you to verify if there's any weird activities going on, because you're not going to be able to see everything. Sometimes there would be times where you need to recommend resources, but it's not available on the island. And Jamaica is a big problem with that. It's very hard to bring in biological insects into the country. And when I mean biological insects, I'm talking about beneficial insects that eat other pest species. It is very, very hard to bring these into the country. It takes a very long time to do this. So more than likely you'll have to come up with other ways to help the pest issues your client is having. Okay, so I know that some of you guys would be interested in this field, but you don't know how you're going to get the money to study, and mommy and daddy might not have the money. There are scholarships available, and I write down a website. So if you can write it down, you can show mommy and daddy for when you're ready to look on this website. And there's a lot of scholarship. All you need to do is download it. It's on the UWI website, scholarship and bureaus, and click on the science and technology link. Of course, you would need to keep up a good grade. So it is based on the results in the CAPE Unit 1 and 2, or your first year of university examinations. And you would have to be registered in the Faculty of Science and Technology to get a lot of these scholarships. Okay, how much money would you make? I mean, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight, but in Jamaica, with just a degree, a BSc degree, you can get at least 150 to 2,000 US per month. If you have a master's or a PhD, you can get 5,000 to 8,000 US per month. And you guys can convert this into Jamaican, right? Okay, and that is the end